Got an RMD you need to take from your IRA? Did you know you could potentially use a strategy to make tax-free donations to your church or charity, and you could satisfy your RMD at the same time? Whether you need to take an RMD or if you are a pastor shepherding a flock, stick around because this could save you a lot of money when it comes time to file. Hey everyone, I'm Tyler Jones, one of the investment advisors here at Independence Financial. And today we are talking about a strategy called a qualified charitable distribution from your IRA. So let's say we have a 73-year-old retiree, and let's name her Sue. Sue is retired and she has a traditional IRA, and this year she is required to take a required minimum distribution, also known as an RMD. This is the amount of money the IRS requires that she withdraws from her IRA to ensure that people just don't accumulate wealth tax deferred forever. For Sue, let's just say her RMD this year is $10,000. Sue also has a strong commitment to her church. Every year, she tithes $15,000. So let's see how Sue can handle this situation and how a qualified charitable distribution, also known as a QCD, how that might make a big difference for her. First, let's look at what happens if Sue simply takes her RMD the traditional way and then donates some of it to her church. Sue takes her $10,000 RMD and deposits it into her bank account. So far, so good. But here's where things get a little bit tricky. Because the IRS treats her RMD as taxable income, this means Sue has to pay income tax on that $10,000 that she withdrew. Typically, that's going to mean that Sue owes taxes on that entire $10,000 at her normal tax rate. Let's assume that she falls into the 30% effective tax rate with state and federal taken into consideration. So Sue needs to set aside $3,000 just for taxes. That leaves her with $7,000 after taxes are taken from her RMD. Now, Sue still wants to donate $15,000 to her church. And since she only has $7,000 after she withheld taxes from her RMD, she'll have to come up with the remaining $8,000 from her savings or her other income sources. That means she's paying taxes on the entire $10,000 and still coming out of pocket to complete her $15,000 donation. A little bit of a headache, right? Now, let's see how things would have changed if Sue were to use a QCD for her donation instead. This is where things get really interesting. Instead of withdrawing the $10,000 from her IRA and depositing it into her bank account, Sue can actually have that $10,000 sent directly to her church from her IRA. Yeah, that's right. The donation goes straight from her IRA to her church. And here's the kicker. Sue doesn't pay any taxes on that $10,000 because it's going directly to a qualified charitable organization. The IRS allows this tax-free transfer as long as the money goes straight to a charity, and it counts towards her RMD for that year. So in this case, Sue's IRA sends $10,000 directly to the church, and the best part is Sue owes zero in taxes on that money. This means she doesn't have to set aside any money for taxes, and she doesn't have to dig as much into her savings. Instead, for the full $15,000 to be donated to the church, it would look like this. $10,000 from her IRA as a QCD, which she doesn't have to pay taxes on. And now she's only taking $5,000 from savings instead of $8,000. By using a QCD, Sue saves $3,000 in taxes compared to the first scenario. That $3,000 difference is the money that she would have had to pay in taxes if she had just taken that distribution, put it in her bank account, and paid taxes. Instead, she's able to donate the full $15,000 and receive a little bit of a tax break by using these QCDs. Okay, so by now you're probably wondering who can use a QCD. Here are some key rules. Number one, you must be 70 and a half or older. That's the age in which you can start taking QCDs. Number two, the donation must go directly to a qualified charity. That's any nonprofit organization that is eligible to receive tax-deductible donations. Number three, the distribution must come from a traditional IRA. Roth IRAs do not qualify, and the money, again, has to go directly to the charity, not to your bank account. Also, there are annual limits as to how much you can make through a QCD every single year. Those annual limits change constantly over time, so make sure that you check with the IRS to ensure that you're not going above that limit. Without using a QCD, Sue would have had to pay taxes on her RMD, leaving her with less money for her donation and potentially causing a headache when it comes time to file her taxes. But by using a QCD, Sue can donate directly from her IRA, avoid paying taxes on that distribution, and still make the full $15,000 donation to her church and save a little bit of money while she's at it. This strategy helps her maximize her charitable giving while helping to minimize her tax bill. So if you are over 70 and a half and you're interested in donating to your church or charity, you may want to explore the option of a QCD or a qualified charitable distribution. This could potentially offer a lot of tax benefits for your situation. It's a simple strategy that can make a huge difference for your financial situation. Well, I hope you found this information helpful. Please send this to your pastor to make sure that their flock is taking advantage of this opportunity. And also feel free to share with your family, friends, coworkers, and loved ones. And go ahead and subscribe while you're at it. If you have any questions, you know exactly where to find us. Until the next video, hope you're all doing well, and as always, God bless.